Oh, these gas prices are crazy. $1.24 is what it took to top me off just then. Whatever. So I just topped off my gas tank. Cost a whole $1.24. And I'm going to head out on a back road to Winchester, Kentucky. I asked on Facebook what you guys wanted to see, like if there was anything specific or vague that you wanted to see, and most of the people who answered that question said they wanted to see back roads. So I'm going to show you what the back roads look like. This is one of my my personal little runs. It's really short. Whole thing is, it's like 20 minutes one direction, so it's not a huge ride, but you'll see how quickly we go from big city to country. The weather finally broke. It has been raining for like a solid week, and it was even raining last night. Like there's still puddles and stuff on the road, so I'm gonna have to be careful, but it's not too shabby. Rain usually doesn't freak me out, but with all this COVID stuff going on, I don't want to do anything that may even remotely have the chance of putting me in the hospital. So definitely not doing it. When it's rainy, I'm home. That's for damn sure. It's nice today though. It's not super warm, but it's not cold either. It's like right there. If it was any warmer, I'd probably be bitching about how hot it is inside all this gear. And if it was any cooler, I'd probably need a thicker jacket on. It's like right there in the middle, which is totally fine. I can live with that. Yeah, so this back road's super pretty. It might be too early in the summer to really see it in all its glory. Like the trees haven't completely filled out yet. And this run, it's super short, but it's really, really pretty when everything's all overgrown and stuff. Lots of churches. Lots and lots of churches. So the other thing I had asked about on the post on Facebook was, what do you guys want me to talk about? Like, what are you guys interested in hearing come out of my word-mouth hole? And a lot of people were just excited that I was doing something again. For those who may be catching this on the opposite side, on the news side, I don't know what that means, but I had a podcast for about 5 years with a good friend of mine who is a Lutheran pastor, and I pretty much have always claimed heathen. So for 5 years we would talk about all sorts of stuff once a week for an hour or so, and it was fun times. It got to be a lot of work though, and I'm hoping this doesn't turn into a lot of work, because yeah, editing sucks. I mean, it can be fun if you're in your zone or whatever, but it can definitely not be fun as well. I had to edit that last video in some pieces. Part of the reason I wanted to do this run is because it's so much shorter. That was like an hour and a half of video that I had to cut down to like just get, what, 20 minutes? and I had to sit through that hour and a half like 3 or 4 times. It's ridiculous. So hopefully this won't be as bad since it's not as long. But one of the things that was mentioned is a friend of mine, Wes, hi Wes, had mentioned a show on Netflix called Midnight something. It's a cartoon. I've watched like 3 episodes of it now, and it got me thinking. I watched an episode last night, and it's strange that I'm on this run, because it kind of correlates a little bit. But it's a weird show. It's a cartoon, and it's obviously an interview. Like the premise of the show is that your main character is going to different alternate universes and interviewing people there, but in reality, don't do it, buddy. In reality, the audio is based on interviews as well, which is weird. It's a really weird show, but it gets like metaphysical and a lot of talk about death and God and things. And phew, dead skunk, holy crap. Jesus Christ. Whew. Man, that burns. That burns a lot. Sorry. Whew. Dead skunk got me. It gets all up in your helmet. You can't get rid of it. Cows. Yeah, so we're already out in like farmland now, and it's literally been like 4 minutes, 5 minutes or something, and yeah, these trees, this is definitely not, I'll have to come back out here when it's prettier, because most of the time, like, this is like solid green, everything's filled out. Kentucky is very lush when it comes to its greenery. It's one of those places where, you know, I was born in Wyoming, where you have to fight to get stuff green to grow, right? And here it's the exact opposite. You have to fight to keep stuff from growing over and like taking over all your stuff. Your house would be totally overgrown. So that show, so there's this thing in motorcycling called target fixation. The first time I was on this back road, I target fixated and almost dumped my bike over the edge of the road. And what it is, for those who don't ride motorcycles, it's when you fixate on something that you shouldn't be looking at, right? So in my instance, I came around a corner a little too hot. I didn't know the road very well, and the turn, it was so overgrown that I couldn't see how tight that turn actually was. So I came around a blind turn, just going a little too hot, and you can tell when you come around a corner too hot exactly where your bike is going to go off the road. Like, you know the exact point where your bike is going to leave the road. And I target fixated. I locked onto that spot in the road. And funny thing about motorcycles is they will go where you are looking 100% of the time. Cows. So if you target lock on something like that, you're going to have a bad day. And yeah, it's not going to be any fun. So this is about the halfway point. Sorry, as an aside, this is about the halfway point. This is a weird little stop sign out here, full of bullet holes, because Kentucky. There's a little restaurant out here. I've never eaten here, but they raise all their own beef on these farms out here, and it's supposed to be really good. I don't know. And you can supposedly go in and buy, I've never even been inside, but you can supposedly go in and buy good stuff too. But that is for another day. Target fixation, yes. So the idea, and target fixation is a really bad thing in motorcycling. Most of the accidents that happen with motorcycles that don't involve another vehicle are from either stupidity, like just going way too fast around corners or whatever, but even those, most of those come from target fixation. Because most of the time, even if you go around a corner too hot, like that day that I went around the corner way too hot, I target locked and realized I was target locked and managed to overcome it, which kept me from going straight into the ditch. So it's totally possible to get a bike to do all sorts of crazy crap. Strangely enough, giving it more gas is usually the solution, which freaks people out, and it is totally understandable. But the episode of that show that I watched last night got me thinking about target fixation outside of motorcycling. And you know, my mom, I love her. I love you, Mom. I know you're probably gonna watch this. She's a heavy believer in I forget what they call it. It's the idea that if you like envision something in your life over and over and over again, that you will a manifestation. There you go. That you will manifest that, whatever that is, whether it's good or bad or whatever. And I don't know if I've ever been a huge believer of that, but I kind of, sitting there thinking about it, realized that I think about the opposite of that. So for me, it's this kind of idea of target fixation on negative things. I have dealt with depression most of my life, and for the most part I can keep it under control. I can tell when it's coming. I can tell if I'm gonna have a bad day or whatever, and I'm pretty good at like mitigating its effects on both myself and the people around me, for the most part. I mean, everybody has good days and bad days or whatever, but one of the things that happens is sometimes it'll sneak up on you, and you'll realize, like, instead of feeling it coming, which happens, like I can feel it coming from, like, I'm gonna be depressed in a day or two, sometimes you look back and realize, like, oh shit, I've been depressed for like a week and didn't realize it, because it just kind of snuck in slow. And one of the things that my depression does is make me target fixate on negative things. So like, I'll get a negative, I'll think about something bad that's going on in my life, or, you know, at a job or whatever, and like, I literally just can't get that out of my head. I can't not think about it. And I'll just roll that negative thing around and around and around and around, and it just makes everything worse, right? Because no matter what's going on that's bad, overthinking it isn't gonna make it better. Right? There's very few situations where thinking about it is going to fix it. There's an old, and I don't know if this is true or not, I read it on the internet, but supposedly the samurai believed that you should never take more than 7 seconds to make a decision, right? If it takes more than 7 seconds, you're overthinking it, because you should be training to go off a gut instinct, and you should be true enough with yourself to know that gut instinct is the honest version of yourself. Now, knowing what I do about samurai, that seems a little like I don't know, a little woo-hooey for them, but I don't know, maybe it's true. Cows. Oh, this motherfucker. Sorry. It's one bad thing about these back roads is people mow and it is like glass. Yeah, so kind of inadvertently by proving that negative target fixation is a thing, or believing in that, I guess I kind of do believe in manifestation. I mean, I don't know. I've never had a situation, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had a situation that I've manifested, you know, that good things into my life by thinking about them over and over again. For me, it sometimes goes that negative direction again. So even if it's something positive, if I'm thinking about it over and over and over, I end up turning it into a negative thing because I'm thinking so much about wanting. Like, say you want a better job, right? Or you want, I don't know, new iPhone, whatever it is. And you think about that, and that want to me in itself is kind of a negative thing. So thinking about wanting something just kind of perpetuates this already sort of inherent negative thought process, I guess. I don't know. I'm really bad at all this stuff, by the way. I'm not good at any of these things. I know wanting stuff is bad. There's tons of shit I want. You know, I know overthinking stuff is bad, but I overthink everything. It's just, I guess the more we're aware of our own faults, the more we can kind of focus on trying to make them better. Or at least that's the hope, I guess. So this is, wow, that was a little hot. This is the backside of Winchester. Winchester's ass. Man, I talked myself dry in the mouth. I'm gonna have to pull over and get some water. It is really pretty out here. It's not as green as it usually is, which is kind of crazy because everything's green. But it's just usually a lot more lush. You can tell Kentucky's having a hard time getting started this year. Feet. I wonder if that's my exit. Yeah, but it'll be alright. So that stoplight right there puts you on like the main drag of Winchester, or one of them, like the big commercial loop, which I may have to go just do a loop down just to see what it looks like with all the COVID-ness. This is always where I come, park my bike next to the end of the road, and so it's not too bad. It's like 20 minutes or so, and it's all great. It's all green. It's all pretty. I hope I didn't babble too much. I don't know if I'll record. I don't know if the ride back I will put into this or not, or if I'll just say goodbye right here. But I'll probably just say goodbye right now and get some water, and I might take you on a trip. Go for the loop. We'll go for the loop. But I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. Peace. Kind of talked myself into a hole, I think, which is kind of crazy because that doesn't happen very often. I've talked myself stupid. No, I don't know about the whole target fixation thing. Let me know what you think about that. Am I crazy? Are you a believer in the whole manifestation stuff? Is that a thing? Do I just need to accept it and move on? Let me know down in the comments, either on the YouTubes or on Facebook, wherever you see this. Just let me know what you think. Yeah, until next time, let me know if there's something you want to see in or around Lexington. Alright, enough babbling. I apologize. Kind of went off the rails. I'm sure this is going to get edited all to shit too, but whatever. The last one was fun to do. It was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Until next time, deuces.